All right. Aloha, everyone. We are just before the holidays here. I'm so excited for this dissection today. We're doing the Canva creators community, and we have some awesome guests. So Derek Chu is with us and he's been a regular.
Hey, everyone. Good to be back.
Todd Nilsson from Clock Tower Advisors is with us today.
Hey guys, great to see you all. And really looking forward to this.
Awesome. And Isabel Ruiz. And Isabel, remind me the company you're with.
Yeah, I'm with Muse. Hi, everyone. Great to be here.
Awesome. Welcome. Okay, so today we're going to dive into the Canva creators community. There was a lot of buzz about this one and a lot of interest in diving into this community. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts on what I have found in trying to join the community, trying to learn as much as I could. So I'm going to share my screen and show you my process in joining the Canva creators community, which has been a very dynamic experience. So here I have just some notes here on my process. So the first thing that I did was Googled Canva creator community, and this is the first page that popped up. So become a Canva creator and earn a passive income doing what you love. So this appears to be, when I go down, I did apply. I didn't hear back. I'm going to try not to take it personally that they don't want me to be a photographer for them. But they basically, it seems like this sort of passive income for designers, like freelance designers can choose to, when you actually, let's see. Yeah, there's these three options. You can create templates, you can create elements, or there's a whole separate program for like education and educators. They have some examples of content, how to do it, register, publish, earn every time your designs are used. Join a community. So this part, I'm like, this is for me, this is what I'm like trying to find and look for. But it's definitely more of like a closed application process. So when I joined here, or when I clicked to apply, it did have me select which of those three different, hopefully it takes me to the right. Yeah. Are you wanting to create templates, elements, or education resources? And then, so I was like, okay, I want to do a little bit more digging because I feel like there's more to this. So the next thing that I found when I searched Canva creators community is this YouTube video popped up. And this is actually so this tells you how like, quote, decentralized, or also like known as fractured their community is, that they need a YouTube video to tell you, to explain, which I mean, so I go back and forth because I'm like, okay, this is pretty complicated, but they also did provide this resource, and this video was extremely helpful. And they really put the work in to even break it up and say, like, if I'm coming in and I just want to know about champions, I can go straight to that part of the video. So I did appreciate their, like, I think that the Notion community that we went through, Derek, could learn a ton from this type of format. It was like completely fractured, no traffic signals anywhere.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, like this seems like a great opportunity for the Notion community.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's still, I mean, the difference with the Notion one was they were all like very community led, and these are all like Canva led communities that I'm sure have some layer of member led activity in them. But I was really thankful for this video. I'm not going to walk us through all the way through it, but what surfaced from this video is that there's these, I think it's 5 different communities. So there's Canva Design Circle community, which I'll show you in a second, because this is the one that I was able to join. There's this Canva creator community, which seems more like a side hustle for designers. There is a Facebook group once you get accepted to that program. Then there's essentially their affiliate program, which is the Canva Champions, that also has a Facebook group. Then there's Canvassador, which they basically, and the guy in the video basically says like, hey, if you're in any of these 3 and you start to just show a lot of value for Canva, like you may be selected as a Canvassador. they
Same.
said, yeah,
Good for finishing, yeah.
they stand out. So we basically, like, you provide us value. We're not going to tell you exactly what that means, but we're going to just like kind of feel it out. It's so, oh my God, it's so pretentious. I can't handle it. But then he said, so then you can join a different community. Then if you make it to that mysterious level, there is another layer. There's a whole other community, Canva verified expert community. It seems like the guy was mentioned in the video. I think it's Ryan Cox is the community manager. They're like, you get a dedicated community manager. So this is the first time it sounds like we have a dedicated community manager to the space. We've now upgraded to Slack. And it seems like similar to Canvassador, but it's like the next level. So there's more. He mentioned perks for the first time, early access to new features in Canva, swag, a free account. So I'm gonna, yeah, I want to pause there and ask, what do you all think so far about this sort of decentralized nature of the community? Do you have any thoughts or feedback on what I just shared?
There's a lot here. So first of all, just finding that community page, like I have to actually search for community or Canva creator community. I have to know that it's called the creator community to even find it on Google. It wasn't apparent to me just on canva.com where it is. And I'm a subscriber. Hopefully I can find it. This is a perennial problem with a lot of communities. And like you, I was kind of confused by all of the options that were there. And I love that there's a video, but why isn't that video on the page where I can sign up?
Yeah. Or why isn't there a Canva community landing page that just that explains everything? You have to, yes, definitely.
And when I'm on this creators page, that's the right place to be, right?
It's one of the places to be, Todd.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I look at that page and it, the headline and the hero image is create a marketplace like no other. It's not saying anything to me about the community or how to join. So like become a creator. Okay. Yeah. I thought I was a creator. I'm subscribing already. Where do I go from here?
Yes.
And then I am a little curious, and then I'll shut my mouth here. But I am a little curious about the break between a Facebook group and a Slack community. Like, why? If you're committing to one platform, like why aren't you committing to all of them? I mean, I've seen multiple groups for a brand in Facebook, if Facebook is indeed the choice that you're going to go with for it. So I'm kind of a little bit curious about their thinking behind that. Does it make it feel more exclusive to do that? It's a very different metaphor for community to be in.
Yeah, that's a really good call out. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree, Todd. I think a point that I wanted to make to piggyback off your last point is, when I look at Bri, your breakdown of what the video had, the key elements of the video and the information that was included for the greater community and all of the sub communities that exist, it felt like they were trying to gate certain communities, but they were doing it in a bit of a messy way, which made me think deeper about, okay, like what are you trying to do here? Because I do think like they market that there's 85 million Canva users, right? So there has to be some gating mechanism for sure for like a community that requires more resource to run and where there's more benefit included and all that. I get it. But given the video and the breakdown of the sub communities right now with the Facebook groups and then the Slack community, it just feels like it's messy gating, like it's a bit messy in that way. So I feel like there's an opportunity for the Canva community team to really get clear about how they want to gate certain things and how you get from one level of community to like the top level of community. Like, be clear about that. I think there's a great opportunity to flesh that out and to just let people know explicitly, like, this is what you need to do to get here, right? You start here and you get here by doing these things. And it's kind of similar to what we were talking about last week for the Sephora community, right? It's like, hey, like help me understand like how do I get from A to B, right? Get really clear about that. So there's a cool opportunity for the Canva team to really flesh that out.
Yeah, because to me, as a community builder, the most important thing is someone's hunger to get from point A to point B, and it feels like they just take this really like kind of influencer, a little bit like elitist approach of like, well, when you prove your value, when you just do good things for us or prove your value, then we will recognize you. And I understand when your community is like, obviously it's Canva, it's going to attract a lot of artists. So there's a lot of nuance. You can't just say like, you can't make it as linear, but I always struggle when communities have so much mystery around how you get to the top.
Yeah.
As a community member who's so hungry for that, but might not have the tools or the skills yet, you're gonna like exile them right away. And tell them like, actually, this isn't the place for you unless you just intuitively can provide value for Canva. And I just think that's such a shame for members who are so hungry to be in the community and rise to the top, but just don't know how to get there.
Totally. And one final thing I want to add to that was like, if you're signing up for Canva, right, for the first time, and maybe obviously there's like a variety of different profiles that sign up for Canva, but like, for me, like as someone who doesn't have like a ton of visual design skills or experience, I'm coming in and I'm like, I want to learn how to do this, right? And it'd be cool to learn how to do this with a community of maybe people who are like have a similar profile to me, but also like being exposed to people who are like a bit further along in that journey and have more skills around that stuff through Canva. Right. And Canva's facilitating some of that education. That's cool. But I feel like eventually my journey, if I want to get really good at visual design and really good at using Canva, if I'm serious about it, I'm going to keep going through the journey. And I hopefully, because of that, I'll get better and better and add more value to the community and hopefully become like a more like distinguished member of the community at some point down the line. But for someone who's like not serious about that journey, they'll fall off and drop off like naturally or organically, right? So I think that's something for Canva to pay attention to, is just understanding like the people who are serious about getting better at Canva and visual design should and are like really taking the steps to improve and get more skills. They will like rise up to the top of the community, I think pretty naturally as it is. So I think there's an opportunity for Canva to like really think about that journey.
So good. Yeah, even just right here and learn, you could have space right here to say, join our design circle community, like alongside your learning process. Like it's just so low-hanging fruit here, people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I by no means I'm going to be a Facebook advocate because I don't use it, but I will say that to the earlier thoughts, your earlier points about maybe why, I think if they are targeting different markets, I actually last year I interviewed Celine, and I'm going to butcher her surname. She's German, but she's in charge of the Canva Germany community. So I'm guessing if they have like maybe segmented by markets. I think, again, I'm not a Facebook user myself. I am a Canva user. I wouldn't call myself a creator, but definitely a user. And I think when I have had the need to find something similar to you, Derek, I will go to YouTube or what you did, Bri, at the start as well, just to find things out. I haven't really thought of, I'll go and ask, or the FAQ or the community help center or whatever. I just have gone to YouTube directly. But I think if, like many of the creators probably in different markets as well, that maybe they find there are other groups that they can build in different regions, etc. So maybe that's also a way of maybe connecting them through Facebook, if that's why they have kept maybe the parts of the community there. But yes, definitely, I think the consensus is it is fragmented, and they should highlight then from the main page, okay, you can go here, where can we direct you, or even as part of their onboarding when someone signs up to Canva. Yeah, for sure.
Right. And I think I'm curious what you all think within the fragmented existence of the community. Sounds like baseline more like have a landing page that like helps with traffic control of who goes where. I'm curious if you all think there's more power in combining some of these programs into each other to have more of a centralized space. Does that get busier and kind of water down the content? What's your kind of posture in that sense?
You know, that was something that's been on my mind as I've been listening to each of you around this. Like, why are these separate communities? Why are they separate space? Like, I understand the need for some exclusivity, but in a lot of communities, some of the enterprise community platforms will let you have, special subgroups or special access groups, things like that. I'm wondering if what we're seeing is a bit of a sunk cost situation where they've launched this Facebook group, they've had a Slack group over here for this other group, and now they don't know what to do with them, because you can't have special interest groups within Facebook, and Slack is sort of this proliferation of channels, very different set of content. Now they're thinking like, how do I get all this content into one place? Like, this is a huge migration project to do something like this. I want to see them together though, because I think those verified creators and these more special, I forget what their titles were, high muckety muck, whatever it is, but they are, why wouldn't they want to be in the creator circle and showing off their status, and sharing their wisdom of things that they've done and learned through the way. Maybe they are there. Maybe, maybe they're involved.
Yeah. Well, and that's what that's the next part of this is I will dive into that. We'll explore just the Facebook group for the design circle, just to see some of the community management elements there. But Derek or Iz, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I feel like this topic is just always like an age-old question of centralization or decentralization, right? What are the benefits of both? Where does it make the most sense given kind of where the community is right now? Where does it make the most sense in the future? It's always that age-old question of like, what's better and what's worse. And yeah, I mean, I personally, I'm biased towards more centralization given how strong the Canva brand is right now. And how hard they have worked as a company to build that brand and just how successful they've become. And I feel like there's an opportunity right now, and yeah, Todd, it's probably a heavy lift, but it doesn't feel like as heavy of a lift that I assume centralizing the Notion community would look like right now. Because that seems like, if I'm looking at that versus the Canva community, like it's much different beast than what I'm seeing in the Canva community. So, so in that sense, me not being being an outsider right now, looking in, I'm just like, it doesn't seem like it's as heavy of a lift if I'm comparing it to like Notion, and they probably have like a similar amount of users too. But yeah, this centralization or decentralization, like what makes the most sense. So that's what I'm definitely thinking about right now. Yeah.
That's good. Probably another way to look at that too, the centralization versus decentralization, is who has the closer tie with the customer. And I think you nailed it, Derek, with saying like the brand is really strong. So the vast majority of connections are going to be stronger with the brand than they are with like the friend who was like, have you heard of Canva? Which is still a strong connection. For some companies, that is the strong tie. It's the person who told you about it. And so that's where you need to start with the community. And that tends, because that's more relational, it tends to be a little bit more decentralized. The brand is like, has more hands off. But for this specific situation, it seems like the brand is really strong. And so why are you pointing people to all of these decentralized, or even, I understand the value of local or geographic or regional groups, but it seems like I'm not thinking like, oh, I wonder about like the Hawaii Canva group or like other Canva people in Hawaii who are using this tool. Like, it's just it's already so decentralized in nature that I would align with you all. Did you have any thoughts you want to add to that? It's okay if not, I just wanted to.
Yeah, I was just going to say that that migration project will be one to document for sure if that ever happens.
We're available for some
Yeah.
consulting on that project. I love it. Awesome. Okay, let me share my screen. We're gonna dive into the one of the Facebook groups. So it seems like this is the as close as we get to like this is the very start of the journey for someone who wants to join the community. They probably don't identify as a freelance creator yet, but they are using Canva as a tool. So I joined the Facebook group. I haven't dove in yet, but this is the welcome banner that I get, which is nice. We actually haven't done a Facebook group properly in Dissection yet. So I have strong opinions about Facebook groups, but I do think there's some like good layout and supporting structure to a Facebook group. So we'll dive in for the integrity of this dissection. If I must, we will dissect a Facebook group. Okay, great. I've got my rules of engagement. Now let's take a look and see what's going on in here. Design challenge.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is cool.
Okay, when was this? Okay, just 17 hours ago.
Not a lot of interaction yet.
Yeah, not yet. Let's see if there's some older ones here. We can see what they look like. December 13th was a big day.
This is interesting. I'm looking at these like and comment numbers, and there's definitely activity going on here. But if I keep looking up at the top left side of the screen here where it says 275,000 members, and that seems like really low numbers for interaction for that many people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like yeah, Todd, it's like not even 1% like engaged on some of these posts.
Yeah. Where's your return on on effort?
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. I kind of want to. So Charmaine seems like 8 hours ago.
I was also noticing that like for that size of a group to have 2 dedicated community managers. Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, definitely. What interesting, 121 votes. Okay, I'm curious here. Okay, I like that we have so it's been a minute since I managed a community in a Facebook group, but this is new to me. These extra layers, this toolbar on the left-hand side. So find a mentor. Okay, interesting. And then we have rooms. Okay, so people can access the space. Events, my personal favorite. Let's look at what we got going on. Whoa, it's been a minute.
Whoa.
Minute.
That's a long time ago.
I guess. Wow. Okay, so I'm curious. Let's go back over to here because there's got to be events somewhere else. I wonder if they just migrated events and they just post about them. But why wouldn't you just
cross-post them? Jeez.
Totally. Just post the event here. If you're already
posting like design challenges here, that means that this was 17 hours ago. That means that someone's actively managing the Facebook group.
Yes.
Why would you not put the events on the Facebook group then? That's an opportunity for sure.
Yeah.
Talk about lurkers in that community.
Truly.
A bit too many.
Just a horde of zombie lurkers.
It's hilarious. I came into this community expecting it to be like the Death Star of communities, but it's like a little X-Wing fighter going pew pew.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because I think the more that we dive in, because I asked originally when we were starting this series, like, what are some of your favorite communities? And people commented like Notion, Canva, like all of these communities that are really well known because of the brand. And I think as community builders, we like to point to them because we're like, look, they're a big brand and community worked for them. But I think when we peel back the layers, I don't know that we can authentically say that community is what like drove the value for this brand, because I'm not seeing very thoughtful strategy. It's really hard to find. And
It's not community led. No, right.
It's not. And as a community builder, I want those examples to point to. So I can't authentically jump on the ship and say, these are the world-class communities that I would recommend, because there's just so much to be done.
I'm like, okay, so some random thoughts I had. This is a private group, so you had to like request to come in, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, there's a gating mechanism there, and I'm like, wow, there's 275,000 people here in this group. Like that's a lot. Like I feel like there's a lot of opportunity given the sheer amount of volume of members here. And then like to everyone's point just right now, we need access to the inner creator circle or creator community for Canva to like really see what that experience is like. I want to see now, like I'm thinking about what does the Slack community look like for that, like the top member community, like what is the Canva community team doing to create that space, right? I'm really curious about that, but obviously we got to find ways to contribute and add value before we even get close to that level of invitation.
Yeah, so. I know. Anyone got any connections to Ryan Cox? I'd love to. Ryan, if you're watching this, no, I totally. What were we gonna say is?
No, I was just going to say that we can send him the link via LinkedIn or something, or Twitter. I don't know. Yeah.
It's so frustrating. I can't even peek in the window of the verified. Like give me a preview. Like, what am I going to get in there? That would be amazing.
I know, it's so exclusive. And he does. I mean, in this video, he talks about when we go to Ambassador. Let's see. Yeah, Ambassadors. He talks a little bit about the perks, but it's just, I know, I want you to whet my appetite a little bit. And it feels like this Facebook group is really just a blend of, it's more marketing, it feels like, and just top of the funnel, less of a community initiative is what it feels like to me. Like I see this as an exclusive audience. Oh, my connection is a little unstable. I see this space as like, we are just creating more boundaries around our audience. We're not trying to foster those relationships and connections between members, or trying to, create small groups or even one-on-one connections. That's my general impression, and I do think that's probably happening in that Canva creators community, but we might just have to do a follow-up if we get access to one of these ever so exclusive upper echelon communities.
I feel like
any final thoughts or takeaways? Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I was thinking, Bri, about the Lego community and how they make it so clear for you to know what badges are attainable, what you need to do to attain them. It's very clear in members' profiles, like what they have contributed to the community and all of that. I feel like that would be cool for people who are just joining the Canva community to see. Because as of right now, given everything that we just experienced, I just feel like being a part of that like deep, like top member creator community for Canva is like really unattainable for me. So I'm like, okay, well, I have all these other things I need to do. I probably can't strive to be in that community or that exclusive community. So yeah. So I'm just pulling, some examples from like some of the other dissections that we talked about, and the Lego community seemed like it's done just like out of the 5 that we've done so far, the best job of like really showing people what they need, like how to attain things, right? And what they need to do. So
Yeah.
And they've been at it for a while too. I mean, the Lego folks seem to really get, what community is about. This feels like it's a really great marketing organization that's dabbling in community and is maybe just not at that maturity level yet.
Yeah, that's a great way of summarizing it. Yeah, and I can tell you right away, just from the fact that their communities are hosted on Facebook groups and then eventually Slack, that they don't have that kind of visibility into the incentive structure. You could call it incentive structure, you could call it the game layer, but how do you, or even your member journey, how do you progress into status in the community? And I'll bet money on it that they don't have visibility into that.
So like, I guess if we were to talk about maybe some like quick solutions that we could like offer up to the Canva community team, like, do y'all have some ideas around like some quick things they can think about? I can kick it off real quick. One idea I had was like on a centralized community page, you can have like kind of like a community member like journey map of like where they need to go explicitly on that one page. Is like, hey, you start here, this is how you get to here, right? And be very clear about that and on all of the benefits and everything that's required to get there. And that's a simple like solution. I think I'm probably speaking about it as if it's really easy. It's probably not, but I do think like being able to really map that out in a simple way could be really cool. And I'm sure that there are like so many ways to get there, but that's kind of an idea I just thought about.
It's great.
Curious to see if y'all have any ideas around that.
I'll just say that's more of a comment that they are a product-led company. Hopefully in the new year, they will start looking at also maybe integrating their community sites as well, because I know recently they have these really cool features now and stuff. I'm guessing as well they're trying to compete with the likes of Mural and Miro and all of them as well. So yeah, I think they will. I hope anyway. My hope will be for them to start looking at a community-led strategy, because I think in terms of product-led, yeah, most likely they are nailing it. I think it's just the product side, the community side that they might need to have a look at.
Totally agree with that. I go with what Derek said. Blow up the homepage. Do a different community landing page entirely. Show me the pathing. And then again, within the Facebook community that we're able to see, cross-post your content, your challenges, your events. I mean, it looks kind of sad that there's been nothing put into the events section, for over a year. And I know that there are a lot of administrator type tools. I run a hobby group in Facebook groups just to kind of stay sharp about the tools that are there. They have some automated welcoming kinds of things that they've put in place. The rooms, having events. Again, we didn't dig into the content for what's there, but I would hope that there are some things that they're using to engage directly with some of the creators within the space. For me, the big tough love thing to say to them would be, look at making a migration away from Facebook groups. I just don't see it as viable, for where they're going to need to go in the future. Yeah.
Nor do I think it's hitting their target customer. Certainly a segment of it, but not all of it. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've got nothing to add. Y'all are very very, very thorough. Thank you for joining us today. I think with that, we'll wrap it up today. So thanks for watching this dissection on the Canva creators community. And oh my gosh, Todd, I love that you have that. I need one of those.
What does it say? Right. What did it say, Todd?
It's a heart, no? Like
oh my gosh. Incredible. All right. So much love. Happy holidays, everyone. And we'll see you all in the new year. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.